What's poppin', T-Subs and T-Squad? So, as y'all can tell by the likes, prompts, and circumstances, excuse me, I'm finally back home. And I just got finished watching the third and final installment of The Real Housewives of Potomac, Season 5. Y'all, I'm so glad that this shit is so done. It's over with because it's draining. Excuse me, it drained me. It drained a lot of my colleagues. Listen to me, girl. Dragged a lot of my blogger friends. Like, it was just beginning to be way too much, way too soon. So that is why a lot of stuff was late. Like with the YouTube web series is that I'm always constantly doing. Chasing Dallas, Chasing Atlanta, the web life, shit like that. I just put that on the back burner because dealing with Real Housewives Potomac in particular has been a huge undertaking. It has. Like, dealing with a lot of y'all comments, a lot of your tweets, a lot of your DMs, a lot of you bums make it really difficult to have fun to do this simply because you have an opinion of your own and not following behind the peanut gallery or following behind what society deems as proper or right or good etiquette or whatever the case may be. I'm sorry. Listen, I was born and raised, and I was raised up in the suburbs, in suburban areas, okay? Bitch, I grew up living in cul-de-sacs. Like, I didn't grow up in no real hooded out area, no real hooded out place. I was around it, yes, but I didn't live there. And even then, I was always taught, if you walk around with a lot of mouth, you got to expect for somebody to either check it or respect it. And sometimes checking it don't always means by the way that you give it. You understand what I'm saying? Like, a lot of you all just really get on my nerves with all of these cockamamie plot lines, story twists, and all of this extra stank that everybody wants to constantly put on two people that got into a fight, and how it had to turn into all of this monotony, mayhem, and mess. Like this minutia of bullshit that we're constantly seeing when it comes every damn week when it comes to this show. And simply because I see things differently from everybody else does, I have to be all kind of bitches and hoes and this and that and this, team Monique and blah, blah, blah. When I made it perfectly clear, I'm not team nobody. Now, when I first got up on this thing, yes, I was team Monique. Once I figured out both of these women are full of shit, it was very easy for me to come up and deduce what I've deduced to, which is they're both full of shit. They both had a part to play up in this thing. And that's just where that's at. So, like, if anybody wants to know or want me to rate Real Housewives Potomac as far as reviewing it, I give it a -17. Okay? A -17. Just solely based off of the fact of I'm not allowed to have my own opinion, and I'm not allowed to formulate and deduce things the way that I see it, simply because if it don't suit or fit y'all narrative, it ain't right and it's wrong. And I just don't build or base my operations like that. I just really wanted to get that off my chest, y'all. I really did. So we get down to the damn episode. And it continues with Candace walking off stage crying like a distraught rich white woman, doing the whole battered woman type of tease and the Kerry Washington cry and all of the rest of that shit. And y'all, I'm just over it. Like, I'm just over the tears. Like, nobody has yet to give me a definitive answer as to how could you go through this entire reunion wanting nothing but the smoke from everybody. You were the main one, you and Robyn, the dickless dyke ass. You know what I'm saying? Chiming in, butting in, adding in your little 2 cents that nobody asked for. You wanted all the smoke all reunion long. But then you have to sit down and look at a situation that you played the part in. Now you want to sit up and fall apart and bust apart at the seams. And see, that's exactly why I didn't watch her little BET Airbus film, because the bitch can't act. She's not a great actress. You understand me? Like, listen, I'm not seeing it for Candace. I'm not seeing it for Candace. I don't see it for Candace. I don't see it for Candace when it comes into this situation. And for the hoes that don't like it, I don't give a shit. Moving on. Robyn chiming in. Robyn, and it's funny because the main two bitches who always have something to say, and it's mighty funny how the ones that always have something to say are there alone. It's real funny how the mighty have fallen. Like, Robyn, you are such a waste of space, a waste of a personality, a waste of a dress, a waste of a good body, a waste of pussy, a waste of titties, a waste of an existence. You're just, I sometimes question God. You know what I'm saying? You know, well, not question him because you're not supposed to, but I somehow wonder, you know, what makes people the way they are, what wires people and what triggers people and what makes people do or act the way that they do or act. And my whole thing to you is, Robyn, I honestly felt like you shot yourself in the foot, because I felt like if you wasn't so pressed on being up Gizelle's ass as much as you are, you might actually be interested, and I might actually begin to like you. Like, Robyn, I must say, you have gone from being one of my favorites from first season to now the world ain't big enough for you and I to maintain in it peacefully and copacetic. Like, you have gone from riches to rags, in my opinion. Like, it's like you are in the most fucked up predicament and situation than anybody else up there on that stage. And I don't give a damn how much you try to hold up that little bubblegum machine ring that you want to throw up in somebody's faces. Girl, I'm sorry. Michael ain't lying, and everybody else ain't lying either. And I'm going to tell you what else ain't lying. Feelings. I keep telling people, when it comes to feelings and emotions, you don't have to say a word. It bleeds and it shows and it exudes through you. Robyn, when I look at you and Juan, the only thing I get is a brother and sister vibe. And he was the brother and he felt like he could conquer you when he did. And it went too far. And then you got married. And then you had kids. Like, when I look at you and Juan, I don't get no love and basketball tease. I don't get no save the last dance tease. You know what I mean? Girl, I'm not even getting no Legally Blonde teas from y'all. Like, y'all ain't giving me shit. Moving on. Cause I could ride her puss all day, and we all know she don't want that. They talk about taking legal action. And I'm sorry, Candace, you listen to your mama, and your mama got you involved in this cockamamie bull crap. Like, let's just call a spade a spade. Candace, you had no reason or no real business to take that situation the legal route. You didn't. You did it because you was embarrassed. And y'all constantly want to call out Monique about her not being real and her just not saying what it is. Can we not give Tweety Bird the same damn thing? Because I think we can. I think we can. Because you really showed your hand, Candace. And the only thing that you really wanted was for everybody to ice Monique out. That's all you wanted. You're not traumatized. You were embarrassed. And because you got embarrassed, you wanted her to feel embarrassed by having nobody film with her. That's what the situation is. Candace, I really wish you would just say what it is. Like, stop putting what your mama did to you down on Monique. And Monique, When you started talking about this whole spiel about how you went through with your dad and all of these childhood traumas, and when she put her finger in her face, that took you back to what your dad used to do to you. And don't get me wrong, Monique, I like you a lot, and I believe your story. I believe it. Until I have a reason not to believe it, I believe it. But what I'm not here for you doing is trying to use that as an excuse for what you did. Monique, and I like you, Monique. Monique, I like you a lot. I love you down, Monique. You know I do. But I gotta call bullshit and fuck shit on your nonsense. Like, Monique, please get out of here with that. You've been wanting to fight her because you're tired of this trick trying you, and you did what you did. Don't put it on your daddy. Don't put it on your childhood trauma. Don't put it on because what triggers you. Don't put it on none of that. Just call it what it was. You wanted to fight the bitch and you fought her. Listen, Monique, I would be all here for you if you would just say that. I would be all here for you if you would just say that. The same thing I said about Candace. Candace, I would be all here if you just say, I don't want nobody to film with that hoe. I want everybody to drop her like a bad habit, drop her like a bar of soap the same way that I did. Like, moving on. I'm going to save the rest of what I feel for the live tomorrow. So then Monique offers her an apology, and Candace decides not to accept the apology because of what happened afterwards, which confuses me because you constantly want to sit up and talk about what Monique has done. Can we talk about what you've done? Because the same way she's went on Twitter and said yada, 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 you've done the same thing. You've done the same thing. I got nothing but Candace supporters flood my goddamn inbox. Candace, stop it. Stop it. Stop it. And if all you wanted was an apology, bitch, you got one. So now I'm confused, and well, I'm not confused because I already knew what it really was, and you just showed your hand. I'm not confused. I already knew what it was, and you showed your hand. An apology was never really what you wanted. You wanted to find any type of way possible, known to man, to try to embarrass this girl, cut her out, ice her out, cut her out of the piece of the pie, and moving on, y'all. Oh my God. So then Candace starts reading quotes from Monique's song. Now Monique, I'm calling bullshit again. Like, your therapist didn't tell you to write a diss record, Monique. Your therapist told you to tell Candace, explain to Candace your headspace, where your mind was, what went wrong, how did it all go wrong, and what can we do to make things better. She didn't tell you to write a diss track. So like, stop playing on my intelligence, Monique. Like, and I'm not understanding why people want to come at me as if I'm so biased. I'm not biased because I like Monique, but I can like you and call you out on your shit. Okay? Monique, you full of shit and I'm not buying it. And Candace, you full of shit as well. Because all you wanted was an apology. I really wanted an apology. All I wanted was an apology. You cried, you said it because all I really wanted was an apology. And girl, you got one. Andy deserved every damn ounce of backlash that he got on Twitter. And he didn't help himself no more throughout the rest of this thing. Like, Andy, just the amount of gaslighting that you was doing when it came down to Monique. And I'm really confused and befuddled as to what exactly did Monique do to you. In my opinion, I honestly felt like Monique was the one who came in and sailed the sinking ship. Let's not sit here and act like when the first season of this thing came on, that it just blew every damn thing out of the water, because it didn't. It took for Monique to come up here and get Gizelle's ass together with the whole Four Homes bull crap. And that's what really made people started to be drawn in more. So I'm really confused and shocked as to, like, listen, Monique, I ain't confused because Andy is a queen. And girl, much like Gigi, that queen probably got designs and probably want your damn man, girl. So, yeah, I don't trust Andy ass. Moving on. Candace says that her mouth was way too much, but nothing that she done caused it. Candace, you full of shit. Shut up. Moving on. So then they talk about Candace being in the middle. And when asked who thought Cameron was more supportive to Monique than Candace, the only people who raised their hands was Candace and Ashley. And I was really shocked by that. Where's your hand at, Gizelle? Where's your hand at, Robyn? Where's your hand at, Wendy? Y'all hands are up any other time. And y'all, that was the main thing that y'all was sitting around here doing. Y'all was sitting around here making it seem as if Monique picked a side. So, I mean, you know, like, it's shit like that really just, we'll talk about it more tomorrow. Moving on. They talk about Karen and her lies. Karen, you have backpedaled and coochie popped in a handstand more than anybody else in a reality show known to man. I think you and Jackie Christie from Basketball Wives have to be neck and neck when it comes to backpedaling and coochie popping in a handstand when the kitchen get hot. Karen, you lied. You lied. Just come out and admit it. Just come out and say that you know how to flood people with words so good that it confuses you. okay? And you are confused and befuddled all the way home, all the time until you, that girl, by the time you done took a shower, changed your clothes, had a glass of wine, sucked off your man, and went to sleep, you done already figured out Karen ain't did nothing but play, Scrabble with your damn brain in this whole line. Karen, listen, Karen, I like you. Karen, I like you a lot. You already know I love me some Karen down. Lord knows I do. But Karen, you have backpedaled the coochie popped your ass this season. You did. Moving on. Candace says that Karen is evil for making Gizelle and Robyn responsible for what Monique did, and that's not fair. Karen says that they was encouraging what happened betwixt the two of them, and I had to agree 1,010%. I know that's not evil. What's evil and Knievel is how you sitting up here riding for two bum bird ass hoes that would not lift a finger or a feather, for that matter, to help you out when it came down to it. Like, Candace, you are going to find out the hard way, the same way that Monique did, that the minute and opportunity that both of them find a reason to turn their backs on you, they will. Moving on. So the husband come on stage, and Chris gets right to the point. Andy, Chris don't want to talk about... Listen... And the football players don't talk about football logistics to the cheerleaders, girl. Girl, if you don't go sit your ass down somewhere, and you know what? I'm with Chris and Chris's whole attitude doing this entire thing. And we're going to get down to that in a minute. So then Andy talks to Eddie about his parents. Again, I don't care. I do care, but I don't care. I care because it was interesting, and I think that would have brought a lot of people on Wendy's doorstep. But I don't care because they didn't want to talk about that. The only thing that they wanted to talk about was how she wants to help aid this narrative with Candace in her 4 degrees. So I'm just not here for now. You know, these people want to open up about the goings on about their family and being also cast and all the rest of that shit. I just didn't care. So then Andy talks to Ray about Karen and her success. I love Ray. I ain't gonna run down on Uncle Ben's. I've been using that Rand rice since I was born. So I'm not about to sit here and talk about that, man. Go in and have Ray and Karen. Congratulations on y'all renewing y'all vows, even though this man got 1 foot, 1 leg, 1 ankle, 1 kneecap, and one one hip bone in the damn grave. But that's all right, Karen. Andy asks Chris, is his sex life with Candace still decent? Because, you know, they talked about how, you know, it's their house, you know, they're no longer living under a Dorothy Dusty ass, but to let the people tell it and to let the streets tell it that that is her house. That's just one of the houses that she bought, and they're now living in it, and she's making them pay rent. Now that's what I heard. I don't know what the truth is. Listen, I don't make the news, I just spread it. All right? I don't make the news, I spread it. And that's what the people are saying. If I'm wrong, tell me I'm wrong. Moving on. Yada. So this, listen, Gizelle, Gizelle, you have got to be one of the most despicable, most deplorable, the most unethical, the most egregious, the most classless, the most tackiest, the most ignorant, the most non-deserving, the most just anything disparaging and despicable, mean and hateful that you could say about a person is really what I feel about you, Gizelle, in this moment, because this is another time where you are gaslighting a situation, and then you're sitting up here, sitting on your hands like, what? What do you mean? You're really going to sit here and tell me that Chris going live way before the show started airing like that, where he says, thank God I'm not born a woman because I would stump a mud hole and all of you bum bitches the size of a crater. for trying to ruin my family in the way that y'all are doing it. And you want to show up with bodyguards. I don't want to hear nobody else say anything about Monique and her binder. I don't want to hear it. Because Gizelle, karma ain't done with your ass yet. Gizelle, karma ain't done with your ass yet. Karma, to let me tell her, karma is just now getting a hold of you, girl. Karma is just now getting the same hold of you that Monique had on Candace's wig. And it ain't done tugging and pulling and yanking yet. Because like like you and Jamal are one and the same coin. Y'all really are. Y'all are different, but y'all are still the same. The only difference is one got a penis and one got puss. That's the only difference. Like, this is the second time you showed up on this thing with security, dealing with something that's dealing with Monique, and you're just so taken aback by him saying what he said, as if what the fuck you did didn't warrant him saying what the hell he said. And then you got Andy sitting up there reading verbatim what the hell he said. And I'm going to tell you what I love about Chris. Chris ain't back down from nobody. Chris said what I said in the general public. Yeah, it was wrong. Maybe it'll ruffle some people's feathers, but I don't give a good goddamn. You tired, thirsty assholes for sitting around here plotting on my family simply because y'all don't have a storyline. Like, I'm here with Chris and what he did. I was here for it. Period, point blank. So then, Candace addresses Big Chris. And then, then Lil Chris started addressing Big Chris. And then Big Chris stood up. And then Gizelle continues her gaslighting with, why is he standing up? Go get him. Why is he standing up? Gizelle, listen. Them Craigslist people told me to stop talking about your horse stable. I'm gonna stop talking about it. Girl, listen. His child support can only pay you just enough for you to be able to go out to Craigslist and get these 4 damn men who ain't had nothing damn better to do, no other gigs to do. And I'm on the show Steve, because he looked like his name Steve. I'm on the show Steve was sitting there like, well, girl, I'm just going to get paid X amount of money to just stand here to do nothing, because this is a football player who will break every damn bone in my body off of one tackle. I mean, she hired us for this big, like, you know what I mean? Girl, Anyway, so Chris asked the women on stage who started the rumor or who shared the rumor on camera. Everybody said they didn't do it other than Gizelle. So then Gizelle starts with her war of the words, and I didn't say nothing that wasn't brought to the show. She was talking about it, so I thought I could talk about it, and blah 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 blah. I'm moving on. So then Andy talks about Robyn, and then Robyn with this forced ass marriage. I don't care about it. They're saying that they're gonna build a house. I guess they're gonna build a house, a shack right behind Gizelle's barn or whatever, girl. I don't know. I don't care. She wants to destinate the wedding. I don't care. Robyn says that her headlines were selling great. I don't care. Juan says that he didn't know what Michael was trying to insinuate down to their engagement party. Juan, you full of shit. You know exactly what was being told. Girl, did y'all hear Robyn's flimsy excuse when Robyn was like, well, he couldn't be here because he had to work? Fine, Robyn. Because to let the streets tell it, he and Michael, they off somewhere kikiing the fulan on the beaches of South Carolina. Now, that's what the streets are saying. If I'm wrong, tell me I'm wrong. Moving on. Andy asked Robyn about criticizing Karen's tax problems when she went through the same thing. And of course, she started backpedaling the coochie popping in the handstand too, saying that that wasn't what was going on. That wasn't what she meant to do. Yada, yada, yada. You full of shit the same way your friend is. Moving on. So then Big Chris walks off stage. And then they talked about what happened between Michael and Lil Chris, and you know, Chris was explaining his side, and I'm sorry. I was here for Chris in that moment. Chris said the way that he approached me was what I had an issue with. And it had it been another setting, had it been another setting or somebody else coming up there to say something to him, he would have been fine with that. But the way Michael did it, he wasn't here for it, and I was here for that. So then Big Chris and Lil Chris felt like both of their wives can eventually work this out. I feel the same way. Listen, as friends, sometimes you get into a fight. Sometimes it may turn physical. But in this instance, this wasn't a knockdown, drag out, bloody. I had to go to the hospital. I got beat down. Somebody called 911. Like, that wasn't what the situation was. I do feel like eventually both of these women could come to a common understanding, because now the lines have been drawn. They both know how far they can go with one another. I feel like they can make it work if they want to make it work. Big Chris tells Gizelle, hurt people, and she needs to get some help. And he walks off stage. Gizelle definitely needs to help Chris, but you got to understand, people like Gizelle are never going to change. And you know why they're never going to, people like Gizelle are never going to make it in life. And do you want to know why they're never going to make it in life? Because they don't ever want to change. Okay? So you could forget that. You could pray about that. Say the prayer of Jabez on that, child. We'll see if it works. So then Big Chris and Lil Chris apologized to each other backstage. And I was here for that. Like, it's funny because men get a lot of flack. But at least men can have a disagreement or argument, maybe even a knuckle up with one of the homies, and they could come back days later and said, you know what, bro, my bad. It ain't even had to go down like that. My fault. You know what, bro, you right. I was fucked up. I ain't had to do that way. I apologize, my nigga. It's all good. Let's go play. But like, it's funny how men can just do that and get over it. Women find a way to just take this thing and just beat it down to the ground. Like, y'all, look. That's it. That's all. I ain't got no more to give you. If it seemed like I held back a little bit, I did. One, I'm tired as hell. So I really don't feel like I ain't got the energy to try to be funny with the punchlines and all of that. And two, I'm trying to save how I really feel for the live tomorrow that comes on at 11 o'clock a.m. on my channel. 11 o'clock a.m. tomorrow morning. Make sure to have your dairy ass and the cherry ass, girl. Make sure to have your thermos full of coffee and your teacups full of tea, girl, because we finna sip when I really dissect, go in, let y'all know how I really felt about this season of the Real Housewives of Potomac. So definitely make sure to be in the building tomorrow morning at 11 o'clock a.m. I spreaded it all over Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. Also, I will be joining Scotty and the rest of my panelists for the panel on Scotty by Nature TV. Don't know when it's going to be. Don't know whether it's going to be at 8 or 9. So definitely be on the lookout between either myself, Scotty, Bondi, Jamie, Urel, or Josiah or Nisi. Definitely looking forward to that. This season was a lot, y'all. This season was a lot. And I'm sorry this was a little bit dry, y'all, but I've been on the road all day. I'm tired. I gave y'all the best that I could give you. You're just going to have to wait till tomorrow for the rest. Y'all, this is all I got. This is signing off for Real Housewives of Potomac. Season 5 is done. Thank God. I don't want to deal with this no more. I'm gone. Bye.
What you're given, that's how we live it. Don't be mad at the system, it's simply how we've existed. I hear a lot of people talking like they politicians and choose to be an accountant because it's safe in the business.